Okay, alright guys, welcome back. So basically, in terms of again, I'm gonna cover now the grid infrastructure, and again, so when I say grid infrastructure, of course I'm referring to Clusterware, also I'm referring to the automatic storage management. Um, so basically, again, so in terms of okay, so in 11 GR2, you have this primary grid underscore home. That's the grid's infrastructure software location for this Opal version. But pre 11 GR2 is actually a different location, so you would have to. I think I've already showed you the OR underscore CR's home. That might be it. That might be a location for the Clusterware. So just figure out, if you're pre 11 GR2, just figure out which what is your Clusterware home. What's the name for that location. Again, what's included inside of the grid structure is the Clusterware, the ASM. And again, this is very important. Again, going from as you take as the open technology as well. Basically, so previously you had a separate instance for ASM. And so basically you would have a open software instance and you have ASM instance, but now, basically you're only able to access ASM if you have a grid infrastructure software installed in your system. Um, so just be mindful of that with your ASM if you plan on using ASM anytime soon. Um, so basically, so what you'll be able to do is so in terms of 11GR2 and any versions post 11GR2, basically what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to when you're performing an upgrade, like typically what happens is that you know the old home is going to be replaced with a new home. That's what typically happens with with the new technology. So release one, if you have a release one of anything, release two is going to replace that release one and just remain in that same location. But a good thing about a good infrastructure for 11G R2 post anything post that, basically you're able to have what's known as a out of place upgrade. One out of place upgrade is that you would still have the initial Clusterware home as well as a newly installed Clusterware home or Green Infrastructure software home. So basically that means that you would have two home locations for your Clusterware software. Um, so basically, that helps in, let's say you perform a grid infrastructure software upgrade, and then you find out that the upgrade was unsuccessful. Then you want to just go back to using the Clusterware that you currently had that you previously had. You can just start using that Clusterware home one again, and then just get rid of the new home that was created. This only applies to performing upgrade. If you're performing a patch, that's not gonna apply. Basically, again, the release version is gonna be replaced when you're performing a patch. Only when you're performing an upgrade that you'll be able to use what's called as an outpost upgrade, which means you have two separate locations for the customer home. One for the customer home that's already installed, and one for the customer home that you unsuccessfully attempted to install. So, um, so again, just going back to what I was saying, basically you just have two cluster home locations. Again, you can use the original cluster home location for downgrade after an successful upgrade attempt. But the thing is, if with this new technology, basically the downside is that it takes up more memory space. So basically, just make sure you have enough space to accommodate for the basically just the expanding memory space. Again, you're not going to be doing replacement performing upgrade. You're going to be doing expansion of your memory space. So just make sure you have enough space to account for the new home. And also, again, just going back to something that I covered earlier, you have voting upgrades. Again, just being able to service the user sessions. And again, this is something I went over just a little bit earlier again. So from upgrade from 10.2 to 11.2. Basically, you would have to have downtime, but anything after post 11.2, basically, you would not have to have it downtime. Rolling upgrade will be available. But if you have an 11.1 to 11.2, basically you would have you would have to have a rolling upgrade. Even for this is not yet supported. Only from 11G or 2 that you'd be able to have a rolling upgrade. Yeah. But you know what? I think 11GR1 rolling upgrade should be supported. Yeah, 11GR1 to 11GR2 should be supported. I take that back. Whatever should be supported, that means that there's no downtime. But then again, you know what? Because the only reason you can perform it, you can have no downtime, is because you have you have one single location for ASM and a Clusterware. But so it's actually this is right. It does not support a routing upgrade for the Clusterware and the ASM. It might support an routing upgrade just for one over the other, because again, but then again, if you have a routing upgrade for one, basically, again, 11GR2 is when the grid infrastructure home is actually made to just to hold it, both the Clusterware and the ASM. So you can have a Clusterware routing upgrade, and you can have ASM being down, but then again, that will be difficult if you have ASM as the storage mechanism for your database. So just again, 11GR1 to 11GR2 again, it's again, because ASM and Clusterware is separated. Just figure out which one again, routing upgrade is supported, but what use would it be if you have an ASM up and running, if you can't service any user sessions, and the ASM is up and running, and that means that you just have an ASM running by itself. So that doesn't make any sense. So you definitely, it will make more sense to not for you to not, even to just have an entire downtime, both for the Clusterware and for the ASM. So basically, these are just some of the things you do after the upgrade is complete. Again, just using the routing upgrade. Make sure not to close your confirmation page. I know. Typically, like once what happens is that when you're done with the upgrade, you get a confirmation screen that's saying, okay, it's been successful. You just want to move forward and just be done. And just start using the newer release version. But actually, you're not supposed to close the confirmation page. There are going to be some post installation scripts that you'll be running on your nodes, and also to be able to, again, what happens is that when you install the release version, you're just installing the software. There still needs to be configuration, basically, for the environment, and that's the reason why you be running these scripts. The scripts that I'm referring to. So after you successfully perform an upgrade, you have to run the root upgrade.sh if you're on Linux environment. That's gonna configure the cluster, the parameters for the grid software. Basically for your environment. And then basically what you can do is here you can actually use, if you have enough CPUs to perform parallel processes, you can use parallel. You can do a parallel. You can use parallel. You can have some sort of parallel threading for the different operations to get them done quicker. So basically, in terms of using parallel processes to get your environment configured, you would just have to again, there's a script to use parallel processes. As you're configuring your back environment post successful upgrade. You just have to do some research and figure out which one to use. I don't have that on here on my slideshow. Basically, you be performing typically what you do is not typically, but it's recommended that you run the parallel processes in between the first and the last nodes in a cluster. So you can you have to run an individual root upgrade at sh command on both the first and the last node, but it's in between those nodes you can run a parallel processes to basically just get it done quicker. I think one of the reasons what that I've heard is because if you want to root upgrade at sh basically to get the rack alignment sort of configured. If you run on the initial node on the initial node, basically the reason why you running on the last node is just sort of like basically just let sort of like confirm that this is indeed the last one and that the up and that the configuration is complete. But again, basically you just again that's the reason why you run on the first one and the last node to just sort of confirm the completion of the for the configuration of your cluster. Again, along with the different parameters that have to be configured to this process. So again, so the root upgrade at sh again, it has to be run on the first. Again, I've already gone over I've already gone over this. So what it actually does is when you run it on the first node, what it does is it's gonna swap the old clusterware for the new clusterware. So it's gonna shut down the clusterware that was previously running, and it's gonna do installation for the new one and the configuration for it's gonna install and configure as well. The new clusterware, and basically the way to force a root that upgrade is to just run is to use is to basically just run is the root that upgrade slash force to force an upgrade, and you can only run this root that upgrade slash force the root upgrade slash force in a 11G and post 11GL2 in 11GL2 and post 11GL2 environment. That's when the slash force was just recently introduced as a way to ensure that you do have configuration for clusters post and upgrade, or basically just any time that you run this shell script. I'm trying to figure out what I have written up here. Should always be running over node first when using. Exactly. So again, so what you're doing is so this only makes sense, right? So what you're doing is after the upgrade, you're going to run this command, this shell script on the node what on the first node that you are that's closest to you, right? And the first one that's closest to you is your local node. Again, local node is a term for the instance that you yourself are using. So basically, you would configure your own node before you can do the processing and then the upload processing, and then you would have to do the upgrade, the root upgrade on the last node, as I've just gone over. So again, what it does is it's going to shut down the existing cluster. It's going to build up a new cluster. And again, so what's going to happen is that it's also going to switch. I remember, just a little earlier, I already went over active version and software version. The different meanings. So basically, what this script is going to do is it's also going to change the active version. It's going to change the version to active version for the new clusterware. So again, if you're upgrading to 11G R2, it's gonna update this parameter to 11G R2. And also you can in terms of just the logging for everything that I'm going over is you would just have to there's a file a directory location a folder location CFG tool logs. That's where you go to get to get basically the information on the the logging of these different steps. So what I do is now is I'm just going to show you guys quickly what that is. So basically this is my Oka home. This is what I found is to basically you just go in there and you're going to if again if you're working on if you're using Davis upgrade assistant, then you just have to go to Davis upgrade assistant to be able to get the figure out which what the individual logs are. So again, this is for my overall Oko. This is for so like an outer look layer for my Oko software, and basically these are the different assistants that I've done some logging for some of my activities. Again, pretty simple configuration. As the configuration assistant is the DVCA, DBUS, upgrade assistant, EMCA is the enterprise manager, and just if you ever find yourself using the assistant, and basically just go to the the CFG tool log, and you'll be able to figure out what the different logins are for that assistant. And again, you can go there to read the different logs for your the different of the steps that take place try to upgrade process. But also you can if you find yourself experiencing any issues, you can also go to the meta link. Basically, you just have to have you would have to have a partner account with Oracle. Basically, again, this is just an example of I think again MOS stands for my Oracle support. This is a typical ID. This is a typical error that you find that user experience with the with upgrade ASH. This is the ID for this error. So if you encounter this error, just make sure you just see if you can find basically go into this ID and see if you can find the solution for your problem. This is just a screenshot of like the post installation post infrastructure software installations. So basically what you have is this is it. Linux Alliance for Windows environment. Like for me, I like basically when I install my great infrastructure software, basically I installed it for my standalone server. And these are just different ways that you can convert it from a standalone server to basically support a cluster to support actual clusters. Basically, these are just PostScript that I referred to earlier. So again, you just basically just make sure that if you're on Windows, it's much easier where you can just if it's in a C drive, you can just go to the C drive and just run these commands. On Linux, basically you just have to again make sure not to close these windows. I would call these it's just another prompt that's part of the confirmation process for the upgrade. So on Windows, like I had no problem just closing mine, and that's I could run these scripts post any of my major activities, and there's no problem. But I know definitely on Linux you cannot close this window. Again, you have to refer to this to basically complete the process. Yeah. So again, just make sure to have this open and then open up different windows to do to read your actually apply these different scripts that are shown to you. So now I'm going to cover the post-upgrade steps in a non-rolling environment. So by non-rolling environment is that, and what I'm saying of course is that the ASM and the Clusterware are completely separate. And this is for anything that's for a cluster. This is for the configuration that's pre 11G pre 11 GR2 actually, because 11 GR2 is when the grid is a single grid infrastructure software that was actually introduced, where basically you have a cluster one and ASM in one location. But you know what? Yeah. So then, because the next line that I have is the green structure package, green structure software section packaging 11GR1, 11GR2. I take this back. So this one is not 11GR1 is not included in this. So you only have a grid of structure software package in 11GR1, and it supports the ASM plus the Clusterware upgrade, which basically gives you the ability to perform a rolling upgrade with the high availability of database services, and for the user session. So this is not right. It's not 11GR1, and also this is right, and this should actually be they are completely separate. ASM and Clusterware are completely separate. Pre 11G, no, be separate 11GR1 and anything pre 11GR1. So there should be I should have clarified this some more. And this is definitely not right. 11GR1, 11GR1 does not package the grid infrastructure software. Only 11GR2 does. So this is not right. It's only this one, the EMJR2 that's supposed to both the packaging of Clusterware and ASM. And also in terms of any problems that you experience as you perform an upgrade, basically just always refer to the log file. If you have a log file and a log file for the grid software, and you also have an alert log file for your ASM. So basically just go to these individual locations. Typically, I know basically for the grid infrastructure software, like what happens is that each node is actually assigned a grid infrastructure title. Basically, and the node name is just appended to that to the grid infrastructure title. So basically, you can that's another way to just go and figure out what happened. But actually, let me do this. I would just this is what I have. This is where I have my grid software, and if I have any issues, this is where I go. Right here, I go to RDBMS, and I go to yeah, this is the alert. Let me make sure I have this right, because I have not been here for a while. So what I usually do is I'll give that an example. So typically it's under diag. So let's take a look now. Yeah, okay. My point is basically you just have to figure out which because it should be either under RDBMS, I think. Yeah, I can't find out right now, but yeah, this is just basically just again just figure out what the alert log is, and you'll be able to find out this is what I was trying to do. So typically, what you do is, again, it's under diag. You go into the diag location for the Opal for the Opal software, and then you go into RDBMS, and basically you have again, this is a bad spelling I haven't tried it, but anyways, basically you're just going to the software home and be able to find a log file. Basically it's very straightforward. It should be the same way with Green Infrastructure software. But the thing is, I don't have Green Infrastructure completely installed on mine. So basically, I'm just showing you guys, some of the steps that I followed previously to get that done. So, anyways, again, you can also refer to MetaLink to get information, on basically how to on any of the issue that you might encounter. And also, if you ever experience an ASM upgrade failure, one of the common issues is basically you just have to your ASM has to be prefixed with a plus sign. Like if I show you my ASM service on my Windows environment, as you can see, it's prefixed with a plus ASM. So basically, if you don't have this set up, this might cause some problem, and this might be the reason why your upgrade was not successful for the ASM. And also, in terms of where the ASM information is stored in the OCR. So basically, so what you do is you would open up your you open up a command line prompt. You would run these commands to get to figure out what's going on with the ASM. You would run this command and to figure out what's going on with the ASM and to apply the fix to resolve this issue. So you run this command. Again, SRVCTL is actually stands for server control. So basically, you would first of all you would stop the ASM. And here you just have the N. The N is actually for the host name. So basically, if for example, my host name, let's just say it's localhost, and you just put in localhost as the host name. So if you stop the ASM, you will modify the ASM. You modify the instance. Basically, just put in the database name and instance name. And you put in, I think you just should be, I'm not gonna take it before I get on what this is, but basically this is just, you put this at the end. You would run the server control remove ASM, from the host name, and then also the, ASM instance. So basically here you're gonna take the ASM instance and just completely yank it out, and then what you're gonna do after that is you're gonna basically just add it back into the onto your system onto your basically you configure your environment. Basically you would issue the server controller, the add ASM, and again for the host name. But now what you do is you just make sure to have a plus ASM basically before as you're assigning a name to the instance. Make sure you have a plus ASM, and then basically just put in the ASM home, and then this should be the final step. Okay, so what we've just done is we yanked it out, we placed it back in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to modify it. So by modifying it, when we modify the instance, what we're doing is we're going to just put in our database name, instance name. Again, this is an I. It's just when you, the reason why it's this is because like when I type it, the Word just converts it to a capital letter. It's just a regular I. Service is an ASM instance, and then so you modify the instance, and you basically you've added a new service, which is a plus ASM instance. So now what you do is you just start an ASM. Um, and basically, once you start ASM, you put in your host name. You have to run this command on all of the nodes for you to be able to get the ASM, sort of up and not sort of, but just up and running. That's one of the uh, downsides of having of a failed ASM upgrade. In terms of just the versioning for your software for your especially again you see this is a non-running upgrade, so you have to account both for the Clusterware and for the ASM. So I just went over the ASM, the permanent upgrade on the ASM. So I'm gonna cover the permanent ASM an upgrade on the Clusterware. So you run this command. Again, this is the post upgrade steps. We already read these commands previously, and that was the pre-upgrade. This is the that was within as we were going to the pre-upgrade preparation steps. But now after you several upgrade or just to figure out if everything went right, you run that same command CTL cluster let me show you this way. Clusterware control. Clusterware control. Um, um, query CRS active version. Basically to figure out which clusterware version is actually running is currently running on your system. Again, you would run this command release version. So basically, if there's a mismatch, then basically then there's an error. There should not be a mismatch because you just ran and upgrade into a newer release version, which would in this instance be 11 GRT. So if these two are the same, then basically this the upgrade for the customer was successful. Um, and also what you can do is you can also run this command to check again part of the clusterware actually includes a number of different services. Cluster synchronization service, cluster A service, local hardware service, and event manager. So basically what you do is you would run this command, the CRCTL check cluster all, and then that's going to check the status of the CSS, the CRS, the event manager process, and all the different nodes. And it's going to tell you, one, these are different services that are running, and so you'll be able to tell basically if the cluster word is basically is functioning, is operating right or is working right. Again, based on the number of different services that are showing us as running with the check. And also the check cluster all basically a new feature that Oracle introduced. And so basically what happens is that it's going again previously you were not able to check the entire cluster. You'd be able to check this one out, but now you can actually check the entire cluster. The dash all is new with Oracle software. And also, if you want to check the voting disk, actually not a voting disk, but so in terms of with rack setup, you have OCR and you have voting disk. Basically, the when you run an OCR check, what you're doing is you're going to be checking on again. So the OCR has information on the voting disk. So when you run an OCR, you're checking on the status of the voting disk. So basically, typically what would show up in an OCR check is basically the number of the different files, different OCR files that for the different nodes. So if you have a 3-node environment, basically set up configured, then basically it's gonna show it should show 3 OCR files. And the maximum number of OCR files per Oracle cluster registry is 5. So basically, you would have to possibly just have basically just I would say, I'm not sure if I'm right on this, but like maybe multiple OCR, multiple OCR Oracle cluster registries. I don't know if that's a possibility, but I know if you just have one set up, basically the maximum number of OCR files for the different nodes. Again, what it's doing is it's just the information on those nodes is 5. So you can only one OCR can only withhold information for 5 nodes. And these are just OCR files. And then so if you want to check the voting list, what you can do, the command that you can run is the CRSCTL core CSS vote disk. He's going to show you it's going to give you more details again on the different OCR files, and so this one actually just shows you basically just the location of the file. I think this one when I saw it, I think it actually just showed you. It also showed you the location, but he had more details. So it just goes. It's a little bit more in depth. And again, basically, it's just again. I think also it has information on the voting desk. So okay. And then the next command that you'll be running is you have to also check the status of Oracle. This is called Oracle Have Every Service. It's a process that's part of the Clusterware software. Basically, it's the you become familiar with this pretty quickly. So it's all has and basically what basically you just again what you do is you just run a CRSTTR query, and then you just do a check on or CSS, and you do a check on the OHAS. Again, internally, this is actually a daemon process, but basically, but in the outer layers, is actually going to be referred to as OHAS. And also, what you need to do is you need to check if this file, if this directory is the init.d directory. This is going to just basically what allows you to be able to again, if you're in a Linux environment, you can use this to start and stop your databases. Again, with being on if you're on a Windows environment, it's much easier. You can just you can do it using just a command line or it's stop command, or you can just basically just shut down the service by going to the services window. So these are just some of the end notes for the Clusterware Great Infrastructure Software upgrades. So basically, so again, I already went over this, but the Great Infrastructure Software actually creates additional home location for your Clusterware post the upgrade. So basically, if you were doing an upgrade, if you had 11G R2, and when we 12C is already out. So if you were doing an upgrade from 11G R2 to 12C, that means that you have a Great Infrastructure Software home location for the 11G R2, as well as the Great Infrastructure Software home for the for 12. So that means that if the upgrade to 12C is successful, you can just go by the upgrade and just downgrade it over to 11JR2, which is what you previously had. And then again, just if the upgrade process fails, you can just revert to what you previously had. And again, this is only applicable from if you were doing an upgrade from 11JR2 and any version post 11JR2. If you were to do actually, you know what? Let me say this. So you can, if you have a no, this is actually right. Okay, this is actually right. So if you have an 11GR1 and you perform an upgrade and the upgrade is not successful, again, what you can do is you can basically you cannot you do not have access to a sort of a secondary home location for the Clusterware home. That's only, again, you only have the second home location for Clusterware 11GR2, version 11GR2, anything close to 11GR2. So basically, what you would just do is you would, if the upgrade was successful, you would basically just remove the old home then, which would be, again, if you move from 11GR2 to 12, so you would just remove the 11GR2 home. Yeah, you would do this by running the run installer, and then this is a command you would run, just detach home local, and you put in the Oracle home, which is again, put in the value here will be the old Oracle home, and again just sort of unhinge the recognition for that. That's gonna get rid of the, again, that home location from the, it's no longer gonna be recognized. So basically, and then what you would do is you would run this command. Again, you go back into that old home location, even though it's been detached, it's still available and accessible. So you would then run, you would go to that home and you go into the old patch, and then run the old patch command, and then you have to get rid of the home location inside the inventory folder. Again, the inventory folder just stores, basically like any other activity that take place, for both your Oracle software, the Clusterware, the rec software, all those different and those different components. That information is being stored inside the inventory folder. So you would run this command, essentially /r, and you want to remove all the all home locations. And then after that, you would run you would actually remove the files. So I'm doing these commands are for a Linux environment. So you just run a rm/rf, and then just remove the all home, and that's gonna get rid of all those files. And then you would then issue an unset Oracle home. And again, remember earlier I went over how to unset the home, but the thing is, basically the Oracle home is actually, it's not, you can't, so you can only to truly get rid of the Oracle home, because it's already been stored in your system, too many times that you've basically just assign that home location to the Oracle home parameter. What you have to do is you would have to actually just remove, do it just manually, and remove the Oracle home from the inventory folder, and then get rid of the files. That's the only true way to get rid of the Oracle home, that home location for the Clusterware software. And in terms of the voting disk, again, this is again, you have a voting disk and you have the OCI. The voting disk, they do not have to be backed up post 11G. So what would happen is that basically they would just again, I'm assuming that there's probably going to be a copy of it, and that's the reason why it doesn't have to be backed up. But previously, again, that's, if you upgrade failed, then basically that would be one of the pieces that would be lost in that process. So, but post 11G, you don't have to have a backup copy of your voting disk. And also in terms of the OCR, so the OCR location is going to be automatically switched, and you do not have to do any. You do not have to do this manually. So, again, so if you already had one OCR location, instead of OCR location configured for your environment, then basically when you switch over to a new environment, then the new location is going to be configured automatically. You don't have to. It's not up to you to do that. And again, so basically this is the completion. This is the final slide for the Clusterware upgrade. So again, if you follow everything that I just gone over, you should have this. You should perform a successful Clusterware upgrade for your Clusterware software. Next, I'm gonna focus on the actual on the Ogre software. Again, software instance, audio and software. They're all interchangeable. I'm also gonna perform. I'm also do some cover some concepts and also some perform some do some do some short demos for database for software for the database upgrade as well as the software upgrade. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.